Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marty.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
The road to WrestleMania has begun. Wrestling fans are looking to add to their man caves. You got to see what we have in the eBay store.
Check it out.
Support Wrestling Insiders in-studio shoot interviews on eBay with this brand new personally autographed WWE Royal Rumble 2021 11x14 poster signed by WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, his advocate Paul Heyman, and Kevin Owens. Reigns and Owens battled for the Universal title in a last standing match January 31st in the Thunderdome in Tampa. This limited edition collector's poster is number 31 of only 50 produced. Comes with WWE authentication hologram on the poster itself. Also comes with an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas and a bonus autographed 8x10 photo. Get this rare, awesome collectible for your man cave and help keep wrestling legends working now. Boston Wrestling Sports and the MWF explodes into a new year of unknown with professional wrestling content galore, and we need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after we review the previous night's Monday Night Raw, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with the unpredictable WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights after WWE, NXT, and AEW at 10 p.m., you never know who's going to show up on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's No Holds Barred Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll journey through the 80s and 90s on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday nights after the lights go down at the Thunderdome on SmackDown, it's John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. If you want early, ad-free access to all of our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and to help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times, for less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Expect the unexpected in 2021.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, welcome to another installment of Wrestling Insiders, where my partner in crime, the man on the mission himself that brought MSG to its knees at WrestleMania 10 when Men on a Mission took on the Quebecers. Oscar, you have come up with a title for this program, and it is?
Monday Night Mission with Oscar and Marty.
Monday Night Mission with Oscar and Marty. It's got a ring to it. Now, when we go out to Las Vegas and David Reese has those pool parties with all the women in the bikinis, do you know what he's going to call that one?
What's that?
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces.
Oscar, I got to ask you, how was your Easter yesterday? Did you and Mimi have a good day?
Well, Easter yesterday was fantastic. The first thing I did, because finally out here in Indiana and in the Chicago area, finally the weather broke.
Warmed up a little bit
beautiful.
Up in the Chi-Town area.
In the 70s.
The 70s,
outside.
Wow.
It's in the 70s, and that's great for us, especially now. But now it's really time for our Easter and eventually our summer to kick in. It's about that time. I mean, it's seasonally early for it, because I remember one April where we had significant snow around this time, and it didn't seem like Easter. It didn't seem like spring was ever coming.
Well, I remember the first time I attempted to go to opening day at Fenway Park when I was in high school with my friends. Instead of a rain out, it was a snow out, and that was in early April. So it's not unusual in these cold parts of the country, I guess, to have a little early April snow.
Yeah, but today it's like 75 outside, and I'm able to enjoy my new hobby, the drone program.
Did you get the new drone yet?
I got the new drone. Right now, I am sticking with drones that are like in the $20, $30, $40 range, so I can get a hang of flying them. And I still haven't gotten the hang of flying, but at least I haven't perched this one in a tree.
Now, what exactly do you do with this drone, Oscar?
Well, I fly it. I mean, you just fly it around and just enjoy the flight of a drone. I mean, it's like having an advanced training set. It's better than that.
Now, do you record anything with your drone, or do you just learning to fly it?
I'm just learning to fly it
so there's no recording going on.
No, I just looked up yesterday how to connect my phone to it, but I haven't gotten that far yet.
You're getting there.
Yes, but like I said, right now it's like a cheap $20, $25 drone. I'm getting used to that. And once I get used to the art of flying it and become a novice at it, I'm going to invest in a drone that's way more money.
You're going to get a bigger one. You're going to go more sophisticated. I'm going
to go more sophisticated, but I'm using these as practice right now. Because if something happened to these, I'm not going to care. I'm just going to go get another one.
Now, just keep the remote away from Mimi after what happened to the first drone that you had.
Oh, yeah.
You're ready to call the fire department like a cat was stuck in the tree.
Wait, yesterday, you want to laugh? Yesterday, I let my niece try it. I let my niece try it out, and she flew it way back. I mean, it went on a little journey. It went way back into the neighbor's yard and got stuck into a bush. It got stuck into a bush at foot level, so at least it wasn't up into a tree where I couldn't reach it.
So you were able to get it out of the bush rather easily.
Yeah.
Well, we have someone down here at the studio who has things stuck in the bush, but that's a different story for a different time. Oscar, WrestleMania week is finally here, albeit a very, very different WrestleMania with the lack of events going on in the great city of Tampa, Florida, the Big Guava, as it's called. Outside of WrestleMania at Raymond James Stadium, there's no Hall of Fame ceremony, there's no NXT Takeover, there's no SmackDown, there's no Raw. The third-party events are very, very limited, like WrestleCon. We're accustomed to having 8,000 fans over those 2 days. This year, it's limited to blocks of 320 people, including the talent and even the staff at the time. So it just didn't seem like a worthwhile endeavor. And that's disappointing to me because, we look forward to this every year. It's almost like Christmas week to those within the industry.
Now, you mentioned you were going south. Now, are you going down to Florida?
We are going down to do some interviews for the show.
Oh, cool.
But no WrestleCon is going to have to wait until it's back to full capacity because last thing we need to do is take a bath. You know what I mean? Now I do shower every day. Now, I do shower every day, but I don't want to take a bath. You know what I mean?
How long are you going to be down? What days are you going down for?
I am going down Wednesday through Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
I think we're on a bit of a delay, Oscar. It's almost like the radio with the 7-second delay. Yeah.
All right. How's it now? Because,
Well, you're a man on a mission. I don't know. No, you sound very clear. I just think there's a little bit of a delay with my sound, my verbiage reaching your mission-like ears.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, we make it work as you. It's called God and Mother Nature. I have very little control over that. But the fans, after the premiere episode, we got a great reaction. They wanted us to talk, Oscar, about not one, but 2 classes of WWE Hall of Fame inductees taking place tomorrow night, Tuesday, on the Peacock Network for fans here in the United States, as WWE Network is C'est La Vie, which I think is going to lead to a lot of complaints. That's a different story for maybe the next episode, but let's try and run through them, Oscar. The 2020 class originally was going to take place at Amalie Arena in Tampa last spring. That obviously was postponed until this year. And before we start to go through some of the inductees, Oscar, I think one induction class is more than enough. What about you?
Nah, well, they can. I believe that because of the disaster of 2020, I'm not against them playing catch up. So I have no objection to it.
So you don't think 12 inductees in one night is a little much? That's a lot of speeches.
No, it is a lot, but like I said, there's catching up to do. There are a lot of deserving individuals that need to go in, which we can go through everybody. But no, I don't think under the circumstances, I don't think it's too much.
And now, has anyone reached out to you and Mo about going in as men on a mission?
No, I mean, no, they have not. No.
Well, you know what? I have a feeling that time is going to come sooner than later. We'll have to wait and see on that. But let's first take a look at that 2020 class that was supposed to be inducted last spring. First on the list is a man that is so high profile and so busy that he won't even be there this year. His induction is going to have to take place at a later year when there hopefully will be fans in attendance, knock on wood. Big Dave Batista.
Yeah, no, Batista's definitely deserving. His body of work in the company is been, it's been phenomenal. And then plus all the stuff that he's doing outside right now. I mean, to have him part of the Marvel universe he's just, Dave Batista definitely belongs. Definitely. So I have no objection to that.
Well, he's a man with a great passion for the business. I think WWE really missed the boat when he told them he was going to be doing these Marvel movies. Some of the higher-ups kind of, I don't know if laughed at him is the right word, but they didn't really take it as if it was going to be very relevant. And look at the Hollywood career the man has began to develop. Certainly not at the level of The Rock, but, Batista has been out there in some really high-budget projects.
Yeah, no, I mean, see, laugh all you want to. You just never know. He's really written that, and there's going to be a lot more of it, so he needs to just keep his head down, make sure he gets constantly cast to be part of that team, and his career is going. Like you said, he's not The Rock yet, but if he keeps on, that kind of money definitely will come his way.
Hey, you know what? That's what it counts in the end. Maybe they'd even have Molina induct him. Oscar, let me ask you about this. What about the induction of the NWO as a faction? Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Six Pack, otherwise known as Sean Waltman and X-Pac, which will make all four of them two-time Hall of Famers. Do you think that's a bit much, or do you like to see these factions inducted?
No, I honestly think it's a bit much. Once you're in there, you're in there. You don't need to. You don't need to do it twice when there's a spot for some other deserving individuals. But I understand. I understand the concept. I don't agree with the politics.
I guess maybe you could look at it almost like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, how certain men can go in or women can go in if they were parts of different bands.
Well,
I still don't like it myself, though. I agree with you. I think it is too much. I think once you're in, you're in.
I mean, on a personal level, I could see Mabel going in as Big Daddy V, and then whenever down the line, he would also be included in going in as Mabel on Men on a Mission. So, I mean, like I said, I understand the reasoning, but like I said, the politics, not really.
Who do you think will be the first three-time inductee? Ric Flair as a member of Evolution, or Shawn Michaels as part of the Rockers tag team with our Thursday night partner in crime, Marty Jannetty?
I would think that's a no-brainer. If anybody would be a three-time inductee, would be Ric Flair.
It's going to be Nate.
Just about anybody.
I think Shawn's going to hit it too, but it's just a matter of which one gets to it first.
Yeah, I would say if it was a race, I would think Ric Flair.
You think it'll be Rick? Well, as they always said, no hair, no flair. But like you, I think the bodies of work of all four men being inducted in the NWO faction is certainly warranted. But they're already in. But I mean, is X-Pac going to go in individually one day and make him a 3-time Hall of Famer as he was inducted as part of DX?
Yeah, I mean, they might put him back in as the 1, 2, 3 kid too. So,
How many rings can you give to one person?
It's a wait and see game. They can give as many rings as they want to. You know how much money them people got.
Well,
Giving a ring ain't no problem. It's the philosophy behind it.
And so many inductees that are deserving from the olden days that haven't gone in. And, they just kind of fly through the big names a lot of the years to try and load up the roster of inductees to be as strong as possible, that they almost shoot themselves in the foot and that they run out of good candidates some years.
Well, you got to look at it another way, too. I mean, they induct people. They also got to sell it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When fans come, they got to sell tickets to the fans for them to see who they believe the fans want to see, and then who tune in on the network to watch it. So I believe they take that under consideration, more so than deserved candidates that are going in. So it's a money game too.
All right. What about an individual, a very controversial individual that's going in this year, a man that joined us here in the Boston Wrestling MWF when he was actually the WWE Intercontinental Champion right here in this very studio, John Bradshaw Layfield.
I can see why. I mean, that's my answer to that. I can see why. I mean, he was a decent commentator. The work that he did as part of the APA was really, really, really decent. Fans really, really got behind that
for a mid-card routine. Yeah, you're right.
So he's done enough to warrant his induction.
Also, the longest reigning champion in SmackDown history.
Yeah. So
I mean, once you reach that world title status, I think it's almost a given, considering some of the inductees WWE's put in that haven't even scratched the surface of a world championship. I think once you wear that belt, I think that almost makes it an automatic outside of someone like Benoit.
Yeah, when you put together everything he's done, it's a deserving induction. So I don't have no objection.
What about two individuals, twins that are going to be going in together because they cannot have a class of a Hall of Fame without women for whatever the reason nowadays? The Bella twins, Brie and Nikki.
Now, let me put now the whole thing, their whole presence is why I understand it. Not just being in the WWE, but having their show, having a show on TV. Who they dated and married is not hurting them none whatsoever, and they are one of the more popular women's tag teams and women performers of a very, very, very long time.
I disagree with you on that one, brother. I think they're part of the reason why the audience tuned out. I can't think in their long, long tenure they had in WWE, I can't think of one good match they ever had, and I can think of lots and lots of terrible ones they had.
That don't matter. It's not a matter of their matches. They're no Lita, they're no Trish Stratus, and they're no a whole bunch of different names. It wasn't their in-ring talent that I'm talking about. It was their celebrity.
Well, to me, there was no talent, but that's one man's opinion, I guess.
No, there's a big difference between talent and celebrityism, if there's such a word. They brought celebrity to it, more so out of the ring than they did in the ring. Okay, let me put it like this. Them showing up at different award shows and different events and having a television show and being here, there, and everywhere, what that does is that helps the company. All right? Brie and Nikki Bella here and there, it brings awareness to the WWE, and awareness brings dollars. That's what this is all about.
Well, to me, they were featured at a time when the company began to decline in every popularity metric known to mankind. I think it's a disgrace that they're going in. I think, their intentions pretty much spoke for themselves, with Nikki trying to marry John, Brie marrying Daniel Bryan, even their mother marrying John Laurinaitis, the director of talent relations. I mean, as I said to John Cena Sr., didn't they have an aunt or a cousin for you? Or, I mean, who in the family didn't want to marry within WWE to someone making 6 or 7 figures? I think that's what they're best known for.
Okay, well, you can't say it's a stupid move, though.
I wouldn't put them in, but you know what? That's just me. They didn't call and ask my opinion. I couldn't believe it.
They should have called and asked your opinion. Moving on.
They should have. All right. What about a man that's almost a surprise? Certainly one of the great in-ring performers of this generation, an icon in the land of the rising sun, Japan, but a man that only had one match in the WWE Universe umbrella, and it was in NXT, Jushin Thunder Liger.
Oh, now, if you don't agree with that, you crazy as hell. I once asked Mabel who he thought was the best performer in wrestling, and he said it was Jushin Thunder Liger. And I'm inclined to agree. That man is phenomenal, and it's shocking that it's taken this long to put him in.
I won't agree that he's one of the greatest performers of all time, but I'll say he's certainly Hall of Fame worthy.
Yeah, well, like I said, he was one of Mabel's favorites. And
that's surprising to me that Mabel would look up to a man that was about half his size in height and weight. But, I mean, you can't argue how great the man was. If you look at the classics that he had with Brian Pillman in WCW in the early 1990s, that body of work speaks for itself, even if you've never seen one match that he had in Japan. You know what I mean?
Yep, but I gotta agree. He's certainly worthy of his induction, and I'm happy for it.
What about a man that had, off the top of my head, 4 big runs in the World Wrestling Federation in the 80s and 90s? The late, great British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith.
Well, again, it's one of those things where my personal opinion and knowing why it's being done clash.
Really?
I mean, I know why it is. I mean, look how long he was there. Look who he is, and he was one of the favorites. He's one of the favorites of the company, and one of their biggest stars. So that by itself warrants his induction. Now, do I believe he was great? Not so much.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised by that. He wouldn't be on your short list to go in?
Nah.
Interesting. Do you think that kind of says stick a fork in Dynamite Kid? His chance of getting in. I can't see them inducting Davey Boy Smith twice while he's deceased.
No, you know what? To be honest with you, when Dynamite Kid was wrestling, I wasn't watching. He wasn't there when I was there, and there was a period where, like a lot of fans, there was a period when I tuned out. So certain names come up, and they draw a blank, and I'm like, I guess that's when I wasn't watching wrestling.
Well, from 85 through 88, certainly one of the greatest tag teams in WWF history, the British Bulldogs were. Maybe where Dynamite is also deceased, maybe he'll go in with the Legacy Award that they sometimes present for past wrestlers. That remains to be seen. In the celebrity wing of the Hall of Fame 2020 class, it is going to be I believe pushing 90 years old, William Shatner.
Now, I have mixed feelings about the celebrity wing anyway, but what I will say, okay, if they're going to put somebody in there, William Shatner should go because I'm a diehard Trekkie.
You're a big Star Trek fan.
I'm a huge Star Trek fan, and I'm a huge fan of William Shatner as Captain Kirk. And I hope he lives. I hope he hangs on just a little while longer because his death, I probably cry that day. So, yeah, William Shatner, definitely go.
Well, he had a couple of memorable appearances in WWE over the years, including a showdown with Jerry the King Lawler on Raw from Houston, Texas.
I was there that night.
Oh, you met? Did you call him William or Bill?
I just shook his hand and told him I loved his work. I was marked out to be, and that's a rare occasion for me.
Did you do the little Star Trek hand symbol to him?
No, I didn't do that. I just shook his hand. I wasn't going to embarrass myself like that.
You didn't call him Billy?
No.
No, all right. And there is one more, unfortunately, something I thought they were going to do away with this year because I don't think it belongs at a Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame induction, but it is what it is. The 2020 Warrior Award is going to go to a guy that does a lot of great work in the community, but perhaps the worst regular in-ring wrestler that's been with the company for over a decade, Titus O'Neil.
Well, there you have it. Well, I'll put it like this. Let me tell you. That run and that fall when he slid, that is priceless.
In the Kingdom of Jeddah.
Yeah, but if he's doing a lot of work for inner city kids or for anybody to uplift the community, in any arena at all, that deserves an award or an induction. So that alone gives him props.
At least it's not for his. At least he's not being inducted for his wrestling work, I guess is the best way to put it. As he is atrocious. Again, in over 10 years, I cannot think of one even decent match the man has had. But that rounds out the 2020 Hall of Fame class right now.
Wait.
Hey,
that brings up. No, hello. It brings up a little. It brings up a really quick story.
All right, let's hear it, brother.
When it comes down to Titus O'Neil, will you be surprised I'm saying something nice? 2 years ago in New York, when SummerSlam was still making its yearly New York runs for whatever reason, we were all at the Sheridan, and I'm speaking to everybody, everybody's speaking to me, and people show respect, for us older,
the veterans.
Right. I spoke to that man, and that man brushed past me like I wasn't even there.
He was rude to you.
Very.
Really?
And later on, Natalia stopped me because she was standing right there. Natalia stopped me and apologized, and she said that she told him that don't treat that man like that. That man is a legend. She told him that I was a legend, and because Natalia loves me because Natalia knows my relationship with Brett, and she knows my relationship with Owen, and she's seen me interact, with her father on a couple of different occasions when we would hug and talk and laugh and talk about and she knows who her Uncle Oscar is, and she really took exception to that, and she didn't sugarcoat it or bury it. She told him, and that made me feel extra special.
Well, you know what? I had a lot of respect for Natalia even before that story, but I have even more respect for Natalia now that you've shared this story. I'm disappointed that Titus chose to ignore you at the hotel, but you know what? For Natalia to speak up for you like that and show you the respect that you deserve is someone that contributed in the tough times at WWF in the mid-'90s when it certainly wasn't doing the business that it went on to do during the Attitude Era. I think that says a lot about Natalya as a human being, not just a professional wrestler.
Absolutely. I have so much love for that girl. I can't even, when I go and I'm at the WWE hotel staying there, that's the first person I look for to say hello to, because that's my little niece.
You consider Natalya to be a niece?
I consider her to be a niece.
Wow.
Because Brett and Owen, were my mentors. I mean, if you ask me, who had that role in my life when I was there, it was Brett and Owen. Owen taught me how to work out. Brett gave me pointers about the business. When I was down, it was Brett that talked to me. And to this day, if I call Brett up for a favor or anything, matter of fact, that leads into a story. And Brett wrote this in his book. And it's another thing I'm honored about. Brett and I were in Germany. And we went to this skinhead bar. Now, let me tell y'all something. You got skinheads in America, but they only faking the funk and playing the game. These were the real Dutchland skinheads, okay?
Almost like where Wes Simcoe is from out there.
And why Brett chose to take me there, I do not know.
Yeah.
So me and Brett, we go there. Brett disappears. I don't know where Brett went. I can only imagine. So I'm there, and Brett said by the time he came back, I'm at the bar drinking Pepsi, because I don't drink. At the bar drinking Pepsi, and I'm laughing and talking with these dudes. And Brett was amazed.
You made friends with the skinheads in Germany.
Made friends with the skinhead, a black man, which just goes to show you in the world, anything is possible.
Well, they used to say anything can happen in the World Wrestling Federation, and you proved that to be true. Did you make love to any German women when you were over there?
No, Dan, I didn't make love to any German women.
Well, why not?
I didn't. Shut up. Move on.
Well,
I didn't know.
All right, we'll have to ask David Race. All right, wrestling fans, right now, a little construction behind me. We're going to take a brief timeout. We'll be back to talk the 2021 Hall of Fame class being inducted tomorrow night.
Honey.
On the Peacock Network. Stand by.
Wrestling fans, I'm Dan Marty.
And this is the man of the hour, Leo Rush.
It's all over BostonWrestling.com and our social media. But Leo, brother, they got to check out some of this merch.
They got to.
Check it out, fans, right now available on eBay. You can add this to your collection.
Support Wrestling Insiders and keep wrestling legends working on eBay. Get this WWE NXT Takeover War Games 2020 11x14 limited edition autograph poster signed by everyone on the event, number 23 of only 100 made. Includes signatures from the Undisputed Era, Johnny Gargano, Damian Priest, Tommaso Ciampa, Timothy Thatcher, Io Shirai, Tony Storm, Rhea Ripley, Dexter, Loomis, and more. Comes with authentication hologram on the back of the poster. Also comes with mystery autographed 8x10 and an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, on Wrestling Insiders at your house. Get it now. Wrestling fans, welcome back to our new Monday night pre-Raw extravaganza. Wrestling Insiders, what are we called again, Oscar?
What is
our name? You forgot the name of the show already?
I'm old. Give me a minute.
All right. I'll give you two if you need it.
The Monday Night Mission with Oscar and Marty.
The Monday Night Mission with Oscar and Marty.
The Monday Night Mission with Oscar and Marty.
Well, we are on a mission for sure, 7 days a week, not just on Monday, but we'll dedicate that name to you before Monday Night Raw goes live each and every Monday night at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You know how to figure it out from the time zones from there. Oscar, like I noted, in addition to all of those names that are being inducted tomorrow night, we also have the following list to go through, and who knows, they may even add another name or two tonight on Raw before it's all said and done. But first of all, what about, again, a controversial name? What about Eric Bischoff being enshrined into the Hoff this year?
No, I don't agree. I don't agree with that at all. He was
Really?
on. For what? He was always on. Clear on the other side of things. I don't know why he came or how he came, and oddly enough, I like Bischoff. I don't have nothing against him, but to be in the WWE Hall of Fame, yeah, I think that's totally wrong. That's another one of those things when I say that spot should be given to somebody more deserving. That is so twisted to me, I can't even put it in words.
Well, Bischoff is one of the great executives in wrestling history. He took Nitro to new heights with the help of Turner Broadcasting to launch the Monday Nitro program in 1995. All right, go ahead.
He just said the operative word. He put Turner Broadcasting and Nitro on the map, not WWE. He don't belong.
Well, I mean, there are others that have been put into the WWE Hall of Fame that ran different promotions. You don't think Bischoff is worthy just because of he was the executive vice president of WCW?
Bischoff spent time being the enemy. If there was a WCW Hall of Fame, then yeah, his name should be the second one in there. But nah, I don't agree with this at all. Like I said, there are spots in different scenarios where a lot more individuals are deserving and haven't been given it yet, and then those spots are taken by people who should be way, way down the line or not involved in it at all. And Bischoff is one of those people who I take to the grave don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. No,
wow.
Especially not now.
Well, what about, I'll throw this out there at you, his body of work as the general manager of Raw over 4 years from 2002 through 2005, where he was one of the focuses of the show.
Yeah, whoop-de-doo. Like I said,
right.
somebody else should be more deserving of their body of work that made WWE great over the years, deserve that spot. And he got it. No, I don't agree with that at all.
Well, I respect your opinion, but I disagree with you 100% on this one. I think Bischoff is a slam dunk. What about the man? He was known as Isaac Yankem. He was known as the New Diesel, but best known to fans around the globe is Kane.
No, Kane, absolutely. Kane is one of the iconic individuals in the sport. And, yeah, I'm surprised it's taken this long. So, yeah, of course he deserves it.
Well, certainly a man that has been with WWE, WWF, all the way back through 1995, right around the time you were exiting. He debuted. It's still involved with the company to this day. Now the mayor of Knoxville County, Tennessee.
Yeah, how about that? I mean, that's
life.
Huge. Knoxville, Tennessee ain't no small town.
No, not at all. So very great in-ring career, a really good guy. Paul Bearer, the beloved Paul Bearer here in Boston Wrestling MWF, said Kane, out of all his men, was the easiest for him to work with over the years, and he had such great admiration for him as a person. I'm very happy for Kane in his induction this Tuesday night. What about it? You want to talk about big men? What about a guy even a little bit bigger than Kane, the Great Khali?
That's one of those instances where I have to question, besides being big, what did you do?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, a spot deserving for somebody else. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it at all, but that's just me.
That's just your opinion. Well, I tend to agree with you, but he's got the one thing going for him that I think really helps as far as the decision-making process goes, and that he did briefly hold the world championship. I think if you are a world champion, especially with looking at some of the people that are in that Hall of Fame, I think that should make it almost automatic. Khali, though, I mean, can you really think of anything he did that was any good? Not especially, but they did choose him to be that world champion for a period of time.
Well, if that's all it takes, then I should have talked to Vince and told him, could I get the world championship for a week? He could have made it happen.
Well, I can't imagine his speech is going to be very good. There's a little bit of a language barrier there with Khali. Hopefully they keep that one short.
He need to get an interpreter.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll have that the writer, I believe his name is Ranjin Singh or something along those lines, maybe to do the talking for him yet again. But again, you have to have another woman inducted in the 2021 class, a very solid performer, not much of a name or did anything all that remarkable in her tenure, Molly Holly.
See, when that kind of stuff happens, all I can say is like, why? And don't get me wrong. I mean, I met Molly Holly at a signing. I sat right next to her. Sweet kid, sweet as can be. But like I said, and I keep saying it, you robbing a spot. That is going to be that's going to be my saying for this type of this type of happening. You're robbing a spot. There are women and men and people, and again women that are more deserving. Why Molly Holly is getting it, I don't know. Another one.
They're running out of women, I guess.
Another one that I'm against.
Yeah, I mean, she was a very solid performer, but again, long body of work in WWE and really nothing remarkable that she ever did. I guess maybe you could point to WrestleMania 20 when she had her head shaved. But, I mean, there's the Hall of Fame, and then I guess you could create a Hall of Pretty Good. I don't know. I think the Hall of Fame should be for the elite, but that's just one man's opinion.
No, I mean, no, it should be for the elite, but maybe there's something they're not telling us. Maybe we don't understand what the parameters are.
They've got to be pretty low with some of the people they've put in my opinion.
Maybe not.
All right. Well, one more that we know of as of now, Oscar, a man that was involved with Not Your Mama's Wrestling in New York, the Christmas week 2014, former ECW and WWE champion, Rob Van Dam.
Now, that's a good one. Rob Van Dam was phenomenal. I think his career wasn't as long as it should have been. But as far as an in-ring performer, top notch, and yeah, definitely deserving of a spot.
Well, at one point in the late 90s, I thought he had a chance to become on par the next generation's version of Shawn Michaels. I don't know if he ever got to that place, but certainly one of the more memorable superstars of the generation. He had a very, maybe not main event run his entire time there, but certainly upper card. Again, like I said, when you hold that world championship belt, I think that puts you in a different stratosphere than those that don't. So I think Rob Van Dam deserves that spot. Oscar, you with us? Oscar.
Well, sorry about that.
Oh, that's all right. What, did you mute me?
Yeah.
All right. Well, story of my life, I guess. And that rounds out what we know of the 2021 Hall of Fame class. And again, you look at some of those names, and then you think about guys that have passed away, like Vader. who desperately wanted to go in before he died because he knew he didn't have much time. Someone like King Kong Bundy, who main evented a WrestleMania. You look at someone like the Ugandan giant Kamala, who was certainly deserving compared to even a lot of the names on this list. And we could go on and on and on. I know they now have the Legacy Award where they'll enshrine some folks that have passed away. But it's not the same as having that moment on the stage and having the fans and your peers applaud you and respect you.
Nope, it's not the same. But like you said, it is what it is. And we have to respect it.
You don't necessarily have to respect it, but you got to live with it, I guess is the best way to put it. Because you're not going to change any minds at this point. It is what it is. That's the class, baby. The T-shirts have been printed, the programs have been made up, and that is it. I would not be the class that I'd put together. I think there's a lot of more deserving people than some on this list, but we'll have to see what happens in 2022 when hopefully life is back to normal in good old Dallas, Texas.
Well, yeah, like you say, we'll see.
We'll see. All right, Oscar, anything to add to this Hall of Fame list before we wrap up tonight's program?
Well, all I can do is pray one day I'll make it.
Let me ask you this. If you were to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, who would you like to have induct you?
Oh, you put me on the spot with that one.
You got me interested now.
I will have an answer for that next week.
All right. Well, you're going to really give it some thought. I thought maybe you'd say David Reese. I could see him come out waving his arms in the air like that to the old Men on a Mission song.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. And that's a really good question. But you caught me way off guard with that one.
Well, you know me. I'm always trying to come up with some good questions, and hopefully it looks like I stumped even you.
Yeah. No, that one, that's a good one.
All right. Well, wrestling fans, we are running out of time on this episode. Monday Night Raw is coming up at the top of the hour. It's the Go Home Raw on the USA Network. Hopefully it'll be an improvement over last week's episode. But Oscar, even though we have a lot going on in Tampa, we look to be back here next Monday night at 7 p.m. with a pre-produced episode for the fans to enjoy. Every Monday night at 7, it is going to be Monday on a Mission with Oscar and Marty. How about that, brother?
It was fantastic. Thanks a lot.
All right, wrestling fans, until we speak again, get ready for a big week of live interviews, Wrestling Insider tapings, cyber autograph signings. Visit BostonWrestling.com for more on that. For the man on a mission himself, Oscar, I'm Dan Barati. We'll see you on this program next Monday at 7 p.m. You and yours be well, stay healthy, and get ready for the biggest week of the year in professional wrestling. It's WrestleMania. The World Wrestling Federation was live in Erie, Pennsylvania, Tuesday, April the 5th, 1983, birthday of Boston Wrestling Ambassador Reno Chastain. The opening contest, Poncho Boy and Sonny Boy Hayes beat Butch Cassidy and Tiger Jackson. Eddie Gilbert battled the Destroyer to a draw. Tony Gurria with the win over Swede Hansen. S.D. Jones defeated Samula via disqualification. Big John Studd victorious over Jules Strongbow. Superfly Jimmy Snuka beat the crippler Ray Stevens via disqualification. And in the main event, WWF World Champion Bob Backlund retained the title over WWF Tag Team Champion Afa. If you were in Erie Live, share your memories in the comment section below. Use the links in the description box to keep Wrestling Legends working in our eBay store and on our acclaimed Patreon streaming service so we can bring you more interactive superstar shoot interviews to relive the good old days of professional wrestling. Check it out. Boston wrestling sports in the MWF explodes into a new year with professional wrestling content galore and need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after our Monday Night Raw review, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. after NXT and AEW, join rotating legends on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's no-holds-barred sex, drugs, and rock and roll journey on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday night after SmackDown, don't miss John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, history videos, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. For less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, get early ad-free access to our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times. Join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Expect the unexpected in 2021.